This is Acadiana's Morning News, 8:41 going on 8:42. The Kentucky Derby is tomorrow. Hard to believe the first Saturday of May is upon us.
Where is the time gone?
I have no idea,
Me
Bernie.
either.
And, of course, many people holding parties. Some others will go to Evangeline Downs, maybe try to pick the race themselves. And we have in studio with us the new voice of Evangeline Downs, live and direct from Omaha, Nebraska, now in Lafayette, or I should say now in Opelousas, St. Landry Parish. Mr. Rob Tuel. Rob!
Hello.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be here.
We were talking off air, and your passion for horse racing is obvious. It exudes. How did you get involved in calling horse racing? Were you involved in calling other sports, or was this it for you?
No, this was pretty much it. As a kid, we would attend the races at Exarban, and kids weren't allowed into the grandstand. They used to park cars in the infield, so I would go to the races with Dad. He would let me. We'd ride and just hang out in the infield, and a couple races in, he'd bring out a hot dog and a Coke. But you couldn't hear the PA announcer very well in the infield. Mm-hmm. So I kind of started doing it just to entertain myself more than anything.
I love that.
I would call the races, and I just thought, that's somebody's job. Somebody gets to do this for a living. What a great, just the greatest thing ever.
It is.
So about 2004, I took a little flyer. I sent some emails, just kind of random tracks within about 300-mile radius of Omaha, and a little track in Eureka, Kansas called Eureka Downs. They responded and said, sure, send us a tape. We'll see what can happen. And at that time, I was just looking to call one race. I just thought,
I just want to do this.
Yeah, just let me do it once. I can say I've done it and be a perfect day. Mm-hmm. And they responded that their announcer was getting ready to actually leave for a different position, and they asked if I wanted to call that meet. And so I would make a weekend road trip to Eureka Downs. I did that for a couple of years, and so that's kind of how I got started with pursuing the dream of making it a real job.
Wow.
And from there, you were telling us you went from that track to other tracks in Nebraska, some of them that ran only one race a year just to keep a casino license. And now you're here at Evangeline Downs where races run, is it 8-9 months out of the year? What is it like to be at Evangeline Downs and at a venue and a region that has such a rich history in race and horse racing?
Oh, it's an absolute dream. I mean, this is a job I've pursued for, hoping that the opportunity would show up, and it finally did. The previous announcer, Michael Chamberlain, called races up in Lincoln, Nebraska. He was the announcer, and I was the paddock host. So when you watch TV, most of the tracks, they have like Acacia Courtney or Maggie Wolfendale, Brittany Yurton.
Right.
They have pretty faces on the TV. And at Lincoln Racecourse, I guess I was the pretty face.
There you go. That's great.
So I worked with Michael.
You're doing better than the rest of us.
So not much. So I worked with Michael for a few years, and we became really good friends, and we've stayed in contact. And then when he decided he was going to leave Evangeline after 6 years to go to Hoosier Park, he said, here's your chance. Send these people your information, send them some tapes of previous races, and interview went well, and
now it's
Boyd Gaming took a flyer, and it's been a fantastic week. I got down here a week ago, kind of a rush job, to clear out my apartment back home, and got some new wheels and rushed down here. So I've been here for about 5 or 6 days now, and the people have been absolutely fantastic. Couldn't ask for being made more comfortable in the first week down here. So it's been great.
Good.
That is awesome. I was about to ask you, what's been the best part of being down here? You mentioned the people, but what else have you enjoyed in your week or so here?
I'm trying some new food. Have to try some food. So tried crawfish for the first time, and it was actually, I did like it. Some seafood gumbo, some crawfish nachos. So, they're not letting me starve down here so far, so that's good.
You're gonna have to buy pants that are gonna have the waistbands only. I'm telling you, you're gonna start eating it. You're gonna be like, yes, I want this every day.
Get the expander belt.
So, but yeah, the people it's been fantastic. People in the racing office, people at Boyd Gaming have just been making me feel at home right off the bat. So it's been really
awesome.
Cool.
Now, the Kentucky Derby, of course, is tomorrow, May the 1st. Again, it's hard to believe it's May already. And one local connection in Kendrick Carmouche, he's racing tomorrow. I forget which horse he's on. Looking at the field in the Kentucky Derby, there are 20 horses, unless, of course, somebody gets scratched today. Who is your favorite so far? Who do you like?
My favorite in the race, the horse that I'm going to put a couple bucks on, is Known Agenda, and he's the one horse. And what's interesting is the 1 and 2 post positions traditionally are a serious disadvantage at Churchill Downs because they used to use a 2-gate setup. The first starting gate held 14 horses. They had an auxiliary gate that would hold another 6 horses, but the positioning of the gate almost made the 1 and 2 post positions inside the corner of the turn. They almost had to take a right turn to make the racetrack.
Wow.
But Churchill Downs changed to a 20-position starting gate, so with the new positioning of the gate, those inside post positions are actually going to be moved out into the track a little bit more, so that post position might not be the death knell that it usually is. So I think with the best rider in the country, Irad Ortiz Jr. in the irons, I think Known Agenda certainly has a chance. And hopefully he just gets a clean trip, and we'll see what happens.
Known Agenda's at 6-1 odds right now. A couple horses at 50-1, like the King, Brooklyn Strong, Keep Me in Mind, Sainthood, O Bezos, named after Jeff Bezos of Amazon fame. He's at 20-1, and they're in the 2 through 6 positions. Are there any long shots in here that you like, that you think have an outside chance?
I do like one of the middle-priced horses, and that is the 17-horse Highly Motivated, which is interesting. No horse has ever won wearing the 17 blanket.
Really?
So that's, in 150 years of running the Kentucky Derby, the 17 hasn't won. So Highly Motivated needs to be highly motivated
Right?
to break that curse. But this horse ran second last time out. He was beaten by the probable favorite Essential Quality in the Bluegrass Stakes, and he was only beaten by about a half length, led all the way to the final strides. But I think he could get a really good trip from being on that far outside. He should be close to the front, should be able to avoid a lot of the traffic. And again, you just hope for a clean trip and see what happens when they hit the head of the stretch at Churchill Downs.
We mentioned Kendrick Carmouche just a little while ago, a native of Benton, has ties to Acadiana in southwest Louisiana, first black jockey to run in the Derby in 8 years. He's on 30-1 Bourbonic, which the name by itself is worth it, running next to Soup and Sandwich in the 19-hole. But Carmouche is on Bourbonic, 30-1 in the 20 slot. What do you think about his chances and Bourbonic's chances?
He shocked the world when he won the Wood Memorial. He paid over $140 to win.
Oh, wow.
Came from dead last in that one and just made a fantastic sweeping move and blew by him in the stretch. And the question for him is, will he get a fast enough pace to try to make the same type of rally? So one of the main speed horses was a horse by the name of Caddo River. They opted to sit out of the Derby. He probably would have made for a faster pace and maybe help set up some of those deep closers like Bourbonic. And also, if you're going to be 16th, 17th, 18th past the stands the first time, you really have to get lucky to get a clean trip. When you make your decision to start your rally, you can't have any pauses, any bumps in the road. So that would be his biggest concern, is that he just has to get a help from the pace up front, and he also needs to get just a super clean trip from there.
There you go. They're the wise words of Rob Tuel, the new track announcer at Evangeline Downs. And Rob, before we go, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You can make up all the names you want. I just want to get a glimpse of what you can do. This is a random horse race that we pulled up on YouTube. Again,
so funny,
make up
Ian.
the names. I want to see what you can do here and give the audience a taste of what they'll get when they go to Evangeline Downs. You ready? All right, here we go. No audio here, so we're just winging this.
Ils sont partis. From the inside, that's Bernie, and here's Ian Ozen on the outside. He's ranged up to challenge for the lead. Rob's sitting back in third. Down on the inside in fourth, Racing Secretary Corey Vizet. Next up is Tracy Kuntz. She's going to try to get a trip from the outside in fifth. They'll move into the first turn. Down on the inside, Ian Ozen now pokes his head in front. From the outside, the big gray Bernie sits up in second. Rob's going to get a nice trip in third. He's going to save all the ground. He's going to need as much help as he can get from down there. Corey Vizet, the racing secretary, sits up in fourth. It's 2 lengths back to Tracy Kuntz, our simulcast director, in fifth. To the far outside, Rachel, the simulcast director, is in seventh. They'll make their way down the backside. Now, Bernie, the big gray, has now ranged up to take the lead from the outside. She's a half length in front. Zen looks like he had too many donuts last night. He's going to start fading back there on the inside. Well, Rob may have had the same amount of donuts because he's in trouble. He's already tiring. But here's Tracy Kuntz moving up on the outside. They'll make their way to the top of the lane. The big gray Bernie on the outside has now poked her head in front. Corey Vizay, the racing secretary, battles back on the inside. Here's Tracy Kuntz on the outside. Our Mutual's manager, she's ranging up, and now here's Bernie. Bernie's taking the lead, and Bernie is going to draw away to win by many lengths. Bernie's much the best today. It'll be a long ways back till we find Ian and Rob. They tired badly. They should walk some extra laps.
There you
That
go.
was great.
And you just won
Thank
bonus
you.
points because Bernie won.
All right. Woo!
Rob Tuel, the track voice of Evangeline Downs. Rob, that was fun. We'll have to do it again soon, my friend.
Oh, fantastic. Loved it. Love to meet you guys.
And that's it. The show's over. The week is over.
Hard to believe.
And we get to go check our bank accounts now because it's payday. God willing, if the checks don't bounce. We'll be back here Monday morning from 6 until 9. Bernie and I will be here. We trust you'll be here as well. Before we go, the crash on Elwha Broussard Road, not far from its intersection with Johnston, so do be aware.
Coming up now on 8:53.